One of the most powerful secrets that I ever learned was that no matter where you're at right now, you can completely transform your entire life in just 6 months. From broke to rich, stuck to unstoppable, struggling and directionless, to carving out and following a path of your own unique design. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do it. By walking you through the exact step-by-step plan I took to go from feeling completely lost, scared, and alone, to building the business and life that I have today, where I work, travel, and play when I want, with who I want, whenever I want. A life that quite honestly I never would have believed was even possible before I discovered these steps. So let's start with step 1, take back control. From the very first moment you're born, you're conditioned and taught to rely on others for your safety and well-being. First, you rely on your parents because, let's be honest, babies are kind of useless. So we need someone to help keep us alive by providing us with food, water, shelter, love, and acceptance. We also learn from a young age that if we act good and do what our parents expect of us, we get rewarded with love and praise and special treatment. But act bad by not doing what we're supposed to do, and we're met with timeouts and consequences, and often the holding back of the attention we so much desire. From there, school teaches us that if we want to succeed, and by that I mean get an A on our report cards, then you need to sit down, shut up, and not ask too many questions. Do exactly what you're told, and raise your hand every time you need to use the bathroom. We're rewarded for doing certain things in a certain way and are punished and labeled as stupid or incompetent when we draw outside the lines. Then come our first jobs, which are often minimum wage franchise jobs that come with strict instructions about exactly how and when and where to do things, removing the possibility of failure, but also removing the possibility of creativity and thinking. Maybe even free will. We're taught that the safe path is to go to college, then get a job, despite student loan debt being at an all-time high, and layoffs, recessions, and advances in technology all but obliterating the job market. We're conditioned to fit in and do what others do to avoid judgment, but it doesn't take long to see that most people just aren't that satisfied with where they're at right now, and they get to the end of their lives regretting not having been true to themselves and living the life that they truly wanted to live. But the worst part of all of this is that this is the path that's considered normal, and it's the path that most people are on. And this would be fine if everybody was rich, happy, and healthy. But most people aren't. So in this case, following the crowd, doing what we're told, and aiming for average is dangerous. And the fastest path to a life of mediocrity and disappointment. Yay, life! The alternative then is to reject the status quo and say thanks, but no thanks. And then quietly and confidently get to work on what matters. And here's the cool part. You get to decide on what matters most to you. Maybe it's money, maybe it's free time, maybe it's travel, adventure, or experiences. There are no right or wrong answers here. The only mistake would be not taking a few hours to just sit down quietly and trying to decide on what actually matters most to you right now. So write it down. Pen and paper, notes app on your phone, the medium doesn't matter. What matters is answering the question, what do you want? Nothing's off limits, but you need a target, a goal, kind of a North Star to aim for in order to get started. So choose something you want, something 10 times bigger, 10 times better than where you're at right now. For me, when I first left the corporate world and struck out on my own to start my own business and become an entrepreneur, my goal was to make 6 figures a year. A number at the time I wasn't sure was actually possible. But fortunately, thanks to the next few steps that we're going to talk about, not only was it possible, it all happened faster than I could have ever imagined. So let's talk about step 2 next. If you want to learn how to do something new, like say speak a new language, for example, well, you've got a ton of options available to you. You could buy a book, you could take an online course, you could sign up for lessons, or you could download one of the many different language learning apps out there. But if you were absolutely, positively 100% committed to learning this new language as quickly as possible, then the best strategy by far would be to buy a one-way plane ticket to whatever country speaks your language of choice and just drop yourself right in the middle of the action. Full immersion. Right from day one. There are a ton of studies that show that when students are exposed to a language that they're learning in an immersive way, well, they reach fluency significantly higher than pretty much any other method. And this is especially true when the motivation is high to learn and understand and absorb this new language. So if you truly want to change your life in the next 6 months, you need to live, eat, sleep, and breathe whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. For me, when I was first starting my first business, this meant trying to get around as many other business owners as I possibly could. So I joined networking groups and attended small business meetups in my local area. I went to conferences and seminars and as many workshops as I could afford. And I begged, borrowed, or bought as many business books, audiobooks, and podcasts as I could get my hands on. So there was basically never a moment in my day where my mind wasn't being influenced by the words and thoughts and actions of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. You see, successful people think and act and behave with a very different set of habits and rules and guidelines than pretty much everyone else. And the more you can immerse yourself in their environment, the faster you're going to be able to adopt these mindsets and habits into your own life and routines. And the faster you're going to experience all of the benefits that come along with doing this. Okay, time for step 3. Knowing where you're going and what you want to achieve is good, and so is immersing yourself in the thoughts, ideas, and strategies that are going to help you get there. But none of this matters if you don't also apply this next principle, which is to take action and capitalize on all of the momentum and energy that you're generating. Reading, studying, goal setting, journaling, networking won't make you successful all on their own. There's a quote I love from the book The Science of Getting Rich, which was written in 1910, that goes, "By thought you can cause the gold in the hearts of the mountains to be impelled towards you, but it will not mine itself, refine itself, coin itself into double eagles, and come rolling along the road seeking its way into your pocket." In other words, thinking, planning, and learning are important, but they're nothing when compared with taking smart strategic action towards your goals. James Clear, the author of the best-selling book Atomic Habits, gives these examples of motion versus action on his blog. If I outline 20 ideas for articles I want to write, that's motion. If I actually write and publish an article, that's action. If I email 10 new leads for my business and start conversations with them, that's motion. If they actually buy something and turn into a customer, that's action. If I search for a better diet plan and read a few books on the topic, well, that's motion. But if I actually eat a healthy meal, that's action. The key takeaway here being that action always trumps motion, and results are the name of the game. So now let me introduce you to the next step and a simple framework that makes it impossible, or at least unlikely or unreasonable, that you're ever going to fail again. Whenever I'm mapping out a plan of action for a big goal, a dream, or something that I'm trying to accomplish, I always start by writing out at the very top of the page, what actions can I take that would make it unreasonable to fail? For example, if you wanted to lose, say, 20 pounds over the next 6 months, well, if you tracked your calories and maintained a caloric deficit, did 45 minutes of exercise a day, and went for a walk right after dinner, it would be unreasonable to not lose 20 pounds. I then take these and break them down into steps and actions I can take every single day. Or if you wanted to, say, learn a new skill like how to do social media marketing in the next 30 days, well, if you spent 60 minutes a day studying marketing books or watching YouTube videos, 30 minutes a day building out profiles and content on each platform, and say 30 more minutes engaging with others on these social platforms, well, it would be unreasonable that at the end of 30 days you didn't know more about social media marketing than 90% of other people out there. And just like with the previous example, I could then take these actions and put them into my calendar to make sure that I was doing something every single day that was going to move me closer to my goal. Of course, feel free to shift these numbers up or down depending on your level of experience, current or existing knowledge, as well as time and motivation, but the point remains the same. Taking whatever big goal you want to achieve and then reverse engineering and breaking it down into smaller, more manageable chunks that you can work on every single day. But if you're not sure what path is best to take, or how to reverse engineer a plan that's going to take you from where you are right now to where you want to go, then this next step is going to help. I'm willing to bet that no matter what goal you have or what you want to achieve, there is someone out there who has successfully done it before. Probably a lot of someones. People who have already made all the mistakes and taken all the wrong turns. And people who have already figured out the shortest path to achieve whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. And the best part is that many of them have written this down in books, recorded their stories on podcasts, or shared their lessons through videos or online courses. Whether you want to start a business, get in shape, learn to invest, take better pictures with your phone, or learn how to do speed bridging in Minecraft, there's someone out there who has taken the time to spell out exactly what they did. So you can just do that too. And in my personal experience, after having learned a ton of different things like how to start a business, how to fly a plane, how to flip houses, how to speak multiple different languages. Bonjour, je m'appelle Adam. Y estoy emocionado de estar aquí hoy. Watashi no isukurimu ga tokete imasu. Yeah, I'm still a bit rusty on that last one. Of course, none of this matters if you suffer from procrastination and are unable to take that first step. fight the urge to procrastinate, and get out there and actually make stuff happen. That's why the very next thing you're going to want to do is check out the video that I've got linked up right here, which is going to show you how to actually stop procrastinating and finally get work done. So make sure to tap or click that now, and I'll see you in there in just a second.